Avengers! Assemble.
Hello everyone, thanks so much for joining me here today as we get to talk about one of my favorite subjects, comic books. My name is Jose, I love comic books, I love talking about them, I love sharing them with you. Feel free to follow me on social media if you would like. Links are in the description below. I've also posted a link to the Marvel fan site that'll have plot synopsis and character bios. So we are finally concluding the assault on Olympus. And we have here Avengers 285 from 1987. This issue marks Roger Stern's final issue as writer. He had a very lengthy run, and we only covered about 1/4 of his run. So we started with, I do have a playlist by the way, but we started with Under Siege and worked our way up through then Assault on Olympus, which I think are the climax of his run. So I don't know whether or not we'll be able to start from the beginning of his run, because there's other Avengers projects I want to get to. But so let's go here. All right. So good cover by John Buscema, rest in peace, John Buscema. Inks, of course, by Tom Palmer, also rest in peace. Roger Stern, though, luckily is with us. So, and we have Zeus here. I love this cover here, and I love the green, although red I think would have worked really well too. A magenta here. So probably they chose not to do red, probably because it would have mixed with all of these. But I bet you if we would have done a magenta, it would have worked out pretty good. So, all right, Twilight of the Gods, Roger Stern, John Buscema, and Tom Palmer. Tom Palmer is an incredible inker. I absolutely love. He works on a brush, adds a lot of screen tones, just beautiful here. And so we have the Black Knight, who in the Marvel Cinematic Universe is going to be played by Jon Snow. And I say Jon Snow because I know characters, I don't really know names. So whatever the name of the guy that plays Jon Snow is, here we go. And again, some more screen tones here and on the sword. So, and then it's talking about he is holding Cap's shield, and then he's got the ebony sword here. So we got Zeus here still standing. Everything's kind of been decimated. Captain Marvel here is Monica Rambeau. She was the Captain Marvel of this time, and she calls out for Namor and the She-Hulk, she's saying Jennifer. And Thor says, "Fear not, Captain Marvel, Submariner and the She-Hulk yet live, despite the best efforts of Zeus." And Zeus says, "You think me incapable of slaying these mortals, Thor? Bah! I have but spared their meager lives for the moment," he says. So, "I have condemned you all to death by torment for what you did to my son, and I shall see that sentence carried out, even if I myself must act as executioner." Real quick here, half being the screen tones kind of here being put. And like I mentioned already, and I'll probably mention it many, many more times, Tom Palmer is the master of putting screen tones. I think he puts in more screen tones than any other inker out there. Klaus Janson is the second one with the most. And believe it or not, back in the old days, Scott Williams used to be quite the screen tone user himself. So, all right, the Black Knight thinks here. He still blames us for the injuries that put Hercules in a coma. Looks like Captain Marvel, Thor, and I are the only Avengers still on our feet, and they look pretty shaky. But how in blazes am I supposed to make a stand against the King of the Gods, even with Cap shields? Cap, I don't even know where he and the others are. The Black Knight continues. So we see Captain America, Dr. Druid, and the Wasp are actually dealing with Hercules after he's already. I know these three kind of blend here. They kind of blending with the background because of the coloring here. Anyway, Captain America says, Hercules, don't. But that doesn't seem to matter. As I mentioned, I have a playlist, so Cap's legs were broken. And Hercules says, enemies, enemies everywhere. And the Wasp thinks here, this is insane. As Prometheus was bringing Hercules out of his coma, Hercules turned on him and knocked out Hera and Hermes as well, which is the ones over here. And out loud, she says, Hercules, stop. You're hurting Cap and Dr. Druid. We're not your enemies. We're your friends. And Hercules says, no, you ordered me, hurt me. Now I hurt you. And she turns into the Wasp here and says, the experts were right. He did suffer brain damage. His memories are all fixed up. And she's like, or she says to him, Hercules, please try to remember. We warned you of the danger. It was the masters of evil that hurt you. I love the facial expression. Oh, looks good. No, you heard. And the Wasp thinks here, it's no use. He won't believe me. I need help. High-powered help. Hera, Prometheus, wake up. We need you, she says. So... And here he uses that thunderclap that Hulk uses. And you see here this whoom. And I love the energy kind of being projected in the background. Actually, if you would have put some Kirby dots back here, or that actually would have worked pretty well. Anyway, so she hits herself against that. And you can see here she's knocked down, and Cap says, Hercules, you're confused, mistaken. I know you've been badly hurt, but you must try to remember. And you can see him hanging on to his leg. Blasted man, this is Captain America. Listen to me. No more listening. Time to kill. And he grabs her here. Looks like he's about to crush her to death. So. And Dr. Druid jumps on him and says, no, my friend, no killing. You will listen to me, Hercules. Listen and relax. And... Dr. Druid, you see him here. The Wasp is not your enemy. Not enemy? That's right. And now let her go. And he does. And then he goes, tricks. You play tricks with my mind. Druid, look out. He'll tear you apart. And Dr. Druid goes and says, head's throbbing. Must block the pain. Must get through Hercules' inner mind while I still can. This is no trick, Hercules. I want to help you remember. He says, remember, Hercules, think back. And he's like, back again. So more screen tones being used. And I love this part here, kind of going by memory. This part is great here because you got the eyes here, which are in the present, and then kind of the panel there guiding us back. So that's very cool. So up here we go. Yes, Hercules, remember, it was just a few weeks ago. You were returning to the Avengers mansion after a night of carousing. And here we have the Wasp saying, Hercules, stop, don't go in. And we go up here. Remember how the Wasp and Captain America led you to a place of concealment. Remember what they told you? The mansion's overrun. How is that possible? Who are these miscreants? And the Wasp says, old enemy of ours, as many as a dozen of them or maybe more. The Avengers' enemies had laid a trap for you, Hercules. They had paid others to get you drunk and to drug you without your knowing. Your fellow Avengers tried to warn you of that trap, but you ignored them and blundered onto it. Did you jackals think you could overwhelm the Lion of Olympus with mere numbers, says Hercules. They did think they could best you, Hercules, and they were right. Some of them had strength to rival your own. Together, their might was overpowering. Remember, Hercules? Remember? That was, of course, in the Under Siege storyline, which is in the Avengers playlist. And Hercules, I love this panel here, screaming, no, no more, no more. And you can see he tosses Dr. Druid away from him. Very good. John Buscema was a master storyteller. So back to Zeus here. And She-Hulk says, I don't get it. Why did you let Namor and me regain consciousness? We would have been helpless. And Zeus says, you are still helpless before my power. I wanted your mind clear that you should feel the full measure of my vengeance. Just a minute, your highness, says the Black Knight behind him. You've forgotten the Black Knight you've forgotten the Black Knight. Is this mere mortal beneath your notice, or are you just afraid to admit that you might not be able to kill me, he says. What? Says Zeus. Never have I beheld a man so eager to die, and he uses his power. I wish this would have gone over the panel here all the way through. So it worked, says the Black Knight. I wasn't sure if my sword's enchantment was strong enough to absorb the thunderbolts of Zeus. The question is, can Big Red stand up to his own punishment? And he throws back the lightning. Ah, you dare, says Zeus. We all dare plenty, and now Namor and She-Hulk hit him. We shall not beg for mercy from a mad god, says Namor. As long as any of us yet draw breath, the Avengers shall fight on. Yeah, what he said, says She-Hulk. This is for blaming Hercules' injuries on us, and this is for tossing us into Hades, and this. And then Thor says, one side, Avengers, though Zeus has sorely tried my cursed bones, still do I wield the hammer Mjolnir, and none may resist its might. And so you can see hitting Hercules here. This is beyond belief. Never have I been humbled in such a way. Never. So great going here. I wish they would have also not done these lines. I love panelless or borderless panels. I think they're pretty cool. So, and Thor's hammer returns to him. Never before have you faced the mighty Avengers. You can say that again, says Captain Marvel. Still feel a little wasted, but I can't let Zeus see that. Will you listen to us now, Zeus? There is no need to take this any further. We don't want to hurt you, but speak for yourself, Captain Marvel. I don't mind knocking him down a few more times, says She-Hulk. And you can see the angry Zeus here. No one, mortal or immortal, speaks thus to Zeus. You can see him there showing off his power here. And here, no one, and he just beats the crap out of the Avengers there. Very powerful he is, and he knocks him down. Poor mortal wretches, I almost pity you. And so, but there is no pity in my heart for you, Odin's son, and siding with these traitorous mortals, you betrayed my son's friendship. You dared raise your hand against me. You have claimed that you cannot be killed. Another lie I shall now prove. No, unhand him. Stay away from me. I shall brook no mortal's interference. And knocks him down. We're still not shown who he is. We, of course, can probably assume. No, you must let go. You must be stopped. And so, takes Zeus here. Thor, you okay, big guy? Says She-Hulk. I yet live, but Zeus had me in his grasp. Why did he release me? Asks Thor. I don't know, Thor, but I can guess where he went, says the Black Knight. By my father's beard, as you can see the trees being destroyed. Stop! You must not hurt the Avengers. I will not let you. Who are you to order me? I am Zeus, he says. Lord of all Olympus, my word is law. And so I have a hard time believing he can't see him, but that's all right. We'll go with it. None may command me. I am supreme, as he punches the dude. That's all right. That's enough. Woman, you have made your final mistake. Nay, Zeus, 'tis you who have erred yet again, says Thor. Hold him tight. I've never cut an immortal before, and I don't want to. I don't want to now. But I will if I have to. Miscreants, there is no end to your insolence. Watch your mouth, Buster, says She-Hulk. And She-Hulk, please, says Captain Marvel. And then she says, Namor, how is he? He still lives. It's a miracle. There shall be no more miracles, Avengers. I shall slay every one of you. I don't believe it. You're so obsessed with vengeance, you don't care who you hurt. Dane, he's so furious I doubt he realized that he was beating his own son to a pulp. He says, my son? And you can see his face, and it happened to be Hercules. Who do you think you were striking, Redbeard? Easy, my friend. We are here, as you can see him, Namor. Do you at last see how your rage has blinded you, Zeus? Hercules, my son, forgive me. I didn't know. I didn't see. Father, you were wrong about the Avengers. Hercules, what are you saying? Your son speaks of truth. This is Prometheus here. Which you have denied, Thunderer. Truths of which these mortals try to speak. Prometheus, I should have seen your hand in this, Titan. You cannot fool me by filling my son's head with your lies. When Hercules lay at death's door, he did accuse the Avengers of treachery most high. Those were but ravings, the works of a damned mind. Prometheus speaks true, Father. Avengers not at fault. I am. Is that, and that is the truth, Zeus. Hera, what is your part in this? Demands Zeus. As with all your escapades, husbands, I have been a pained observer, even as I sought to correct your mad acts. And so we get a kind of how everything was basically a quick recap here. And so here's Prometheus taking off his cloak. In ages past, Hercules risked his own life to free me from the bounds of torture atop Mount Caucasus. I could do no less for him now, so... Father, you must believe me. The Avengers are not to blame. I ignored their warnings and was beaten. My fault. All my fault. And here Zeus is like, Hercules, my son, what have I done? By all that is eternal, what have I done? Oh, so you can see all the destruction that happened here. And so now we're at Olympus, and the Avengers are recovering after the beating that Zeus gave them. And here they make a comment that even though he sent them to hell, that they will gladly drink his food and wine here. And so Captain America has now shown up with Dr. Druid here. His legs have healed, so some time has passed up there. And Captain Marvel says, your legs, I was afraid you'd never walk again. And he says, thank Apollo. He healed Dr. Druid's concussion and my fractures in a matter of minutes. So I guess they weren't there a while. That's wonderful, but where's Thor? And this is Apollo here wearing this. And Apollo says, it's a wonder you can still move, Odin's son. Please let me try to heal your bones. And Thor says, it would be a waste of time, Apollo. No, I must face the death goddess Hela herself before I'm rid of her debilitating curse. I do have this is from Walter Simonson's Thor run, and I do have a playlist with all the stuff that's are happening over there if you wish to see it. So, as you wish. Although this, real quick, these Avengers are a little bit more ahead than where I am. So, Avengers, it is the wish of Zeus that I conduct you to a special tribunal of the gods. If you would follow, please. And so here are the Pantheon. And so Ares is asking where Zeus is. And Athena says, we'll soon learn. Our father approaches. And look, he wears the robes of penance. So basically, Zeus says, I'm just going to paraphrase because I'm just going to hurry along. Zeus says that they made a mistake, and even though it was out of concern, he committed a crime against the Avengers. And so he says, no more. Gods will no longer be welcome in Earth, he says, to ensure that this doesn't happen again. And of course, Neptune, who is also known as Poseidon, says, I'm Lord of the Sea. You cannot bar me from my worshippers. And Ares, who's Mars, also the god of war. Neptune is not the only one with followers. Father, many mortals who revere the ways of war. I will not be denied. And of course, I love this. Silence, he screams. You are forbidden to walk the earth. Thus is the will of Zeus. Disobey me at your own peril, he says. And so he walks out with Hercules and says, Come now, son. I have much to make up to you. He says, Yes, father. So, and here they talk a little bit about the gods. So we're just basically Prometheus is going to return them back to Earth, and they wonder about Hercules since the gods can't travel the Earth, and he says he still has a while to recover. So, all right. And so I'm going to read this paragraph here. But now you must be on your way. There be many serious challenges awaiting you on the world. In the days to come, mankind will have need of heroes, and you will be sorely tested. And Captain Marvel's like, what do you mean? And he's like, I can say no more, Avengers. Live strong. So, so they arrived back in New York. The Wasp is basically taken off. After all, she was on vacation, and people were there, and Thor is gonna go back to Asgard to fight Hela, which, by the way, I will be covering. I'm covering his Simonson's run. We're just not there yet, but we'll get there. And says, "Fare thee well. We may soon meet again." And so, the rest are on their way, and they ask Captain, "Are you coming?" He says, "No, you can go without me. I'll see you at the next meeting." He says, and Captain America thinks about what Prometheus says, and he says, "I'm not gonna worry about it. Whatever challenge, we'll meet it. We always have." So, and so here comes the Quinjet here, and there's Namor and the Black Knight, and this is Marina, who's Namor's wife. I think she's from Alpha Flight, if I remember correctly. And so she gives him a warning and says his people, they're gone. After Neptune carried him off, they abandoned everything and fled into the depths. They said that their god had rejected him. So, and Namor's disappointed because he wanted to go back to ruling Atlantis, and he says, "Don't blame them. Atlantis have worshipped Father Neptune for generations. Were I them, I might have done the same." So, and so they look at the sunset here, and basically, are basically, what is it in movies? You know, next day is a brand new day. So. And so we're in the last page. So it says here, a week later, in the Avengers temporary file room. This is the one of those who overran Avengers Mansion in my absence. That is correct. Norbert Ebersol, also known as the Fixer. He was Baron Zemo's right-hand man. He's currently being held at a federal maximum security prison. And Dr. Druid says, I take it there's a point to this update, Captain. Yes, Doctor, the Avengers have a lot of enemies. We should all have working familiarity with who and where they are. And here comes, oh my God, She-Hulk and the Black Knight. She says, where's Captain America? I wish I knew. Dane and I went to pick him up for the meeting, but there was no sign of him. We tried contacting him by radio, but got no reply. Maybe he's off on some secret mission. Surely Cap would leave us word with us unless a few days ago Cap told me that the Federal Commission was after him to work exclusively for the government. You think he took them up on it? Hardly. Still, Dane, see if you can reach Cap through his telephone hotline. Jeannie, contact the Falcon. He and Cap have worked closely in the past. See if he's heard anything. I want to know what's going on. If Captain America is in trouble, we're going to make it the Avengers business. Next issue, Captain America is missing, and the mystery abound is the fix is on. So I'm gonna say just something real quick. We may actually not be getting to that. I may I haven't decided whether or not where to start again with the Avengers. So real quick here, the wonderful screen tone. So we may not be doing that issue. But do check out the Captain America playlist to see what's going on over there. I am covering this era of Captain America. I don't quite want to go to the 90s yet. I want to cover Kurt Busiek's and oh my God, George Perez's run during the 90s of Captain America. But so I don't know yet. I know that we're gonna be doing Avengers X-Men, the first one, which is a 4 issue series done by Roger Stern. However, it's not ready as I'm covering X-Men right now. I just haven't gotten to that part yet, so I'm gonna wait on that. So I guess I don't know what I'm doing next for Avengers. So on the next Avengers video, I guess you'll find out with me what the heck I'm gonna be doing. So for now, Avengers 285 from 1987, Roger Stern, John Buscema, and Tom Palmer. Like and subscribe. I do thank you for listening. Goodbye.